So youth on top of addiction. And I just realized, as I was going through my life and
When a chance encounter with two boys at Starbucks turned ugly, Jada Pinkett Smith found herself at the center of a social media firestorm, forcing her to confront the harsh realities of fame and the true meaning of respect. It was a rare, quiet morning for Jada Pinkett Smith. Between managing her projects, maintaining her family life, and keeping up with her public persona, free moments like this were hard to come by. She just wrapped up a morning workout and decided to treat herself to something small but luxurious: a coffee from Starbucks. Slipping into a black tracksuit, oversized sunglasses, and sneakers, Jada hoped to blend in. Her goal wasn't attention, it was simplicity. She parked her car and stepped into the familiar atmosphere of Starbucks. The smell of coffee beans and the soft hum of conversation greeted her. Jada felt a sense of calm, enjoying the idea of a quiet morning before the demands of her day fully kicked in. But the peace she sought would be short-lived. In a few minutes, the intimate walls of the cafe would become the stage for an emotional confrontation, one that would have social media buzzing for weeks to come. While Jada appeared composed as she entered the cafe, beneath the surface, she carried emotional scars few could see. Over the past few years, her willingness to share intimate details of her life on Red Table Talk had earned her both admiration and criticism. Many praised her openness, saying she gave a voice to topics often shrouded in silence. However, others saw her transparency as overexposure, mocking her personal revelations and turning her struggles into punchlines. Memes about her life often trended online, and the jokes sometimes found their way into real-life interactions. What most people didn't know was how deeply these public critiques affected her. While she understood the power of transparency, the vulnerability it required often left her feeling raw. She frequently questioned whether the impact she sought to create was worth the cost to her peace of mind. On this particular morning, she was feeling especially fragile. Comments about her personal life had dominated the news cycle again, and the weight of public judgment felt heavier than usual. As she ordered her coffee, she silently hoped for a moment of peace, a chance to simply exist without scrutiny. What she didn't expect was how quickly that hope would be shattered. The Starbucks was busy, but not chaotic. Jada placed her order, a grande oat milk latte with caramel, and moved to the pickup counter. She checked her phone, replying to a quick email and scrolling through her schedule. Nearby, two teenage boys, Jason and Marcus, sat at a small table, sipping iced coffees and scrolling through their phones. Marcus noticed Jada first. He nudged Jason and whispered, "Yo, isn't that Jada Pinkett Smith?" Jason looked over. "No way," he said, grinning. "What's she doing here?" "She's probably getting a latte with a side of deep healing," Marcus joked, smirking. Jason laughed. "Or spilling her personal drama to the barista." Their voices were low, but not low enough. Jada heard every bit of their conversation and froze. She glanced at the boys, her heart sinking as the familiar sting of mockery hit her. At first, she tried to ignore it, focusing on her phone. But as the boys continued to laugh, their comments grew louder. "Bet she's about to turn this Starbucks into Red Table Talk," one of them quipped. That was the last straw. Jada turned toward them, her expression calm, but her voice sharp. "Excuse me," she said. The boys stopped laughing, their eyes wide. "Do you think it's funny to disrespect someone you don't know?" she asked, stepping closer to their table. Jason stammered. "We didn't mean what?" Jada interrupted. "Didn't mean for me to hear you? Or didn't mean to be rude?" The cafe grew silent as other customers turned to watch. Phones emerged, and cameras began recording. "You have no idea what people are going through," Jada continued, her voice steady but trembling with emotion. "You don't get to sit here and reduce me, or anyone else, to your jokes." The boys looked down, their embarrassment obvious. Jada, visibly upset, turned to the counter and demanded to speak to the manager. "This behavior is unacceptable," she said, her voice louder now. The manager, a young woman named Emma, approached cautiously, her face a mix of concern and anxiety. "I'm sorry, ma'am. What's going on?" Jada pointed toward the boys. They think it's okay to make fun of people in public. It's disrespectful, and it shouldn't be tolerated. Emma, the beverage specialist, felt her stomach tighten as she looked at Jada and then at the boys. As a barista, she was no stranger to customer disputes, but this was different. One side featured a celebrity, visibly upset and demanding accountability. The other side consisted of two teenage boys who looked genuinely remorseful. Emma wanted to soothe the situation, but how? If she sided with Jada, she risked further embarrassing the boys. If she dismissed Jada's concerns, she might be accused of condoning disrespect. So what did she do? Keep watching to find out. Let's all take a deep breath, Emma said gently. She turned to the boys. Guys, I think you owe her an apology. Jason and Marcus mumbled apologies, their faces flushed with shame. Emma then addressed Jada. I'm so sorry this happened. I'll make sure we address it. Jada nodded, her emotions still raw. Emma could tell that this moment wasn't just about the boys' comments. It was about something deeper. But what was the motive behind Jason and Marcus's action? Jason and Marcus hadn't set out to offend anyone that morning. They were simply two teenagers caught up in the casual culture of online humor. When they saw Jada, their first instinct was fascination. She was a celebrity, someone they'd only seen on screens. But instead of respecting her privacy, they resorted to joking, partly out of nervousness, partly out of habit. For Jason, the jokes were just that, jokes. But Marcus, who had followed celebrity news more closely, knew about the memes and controversies surrounding Jada. To him, the comments felt harmless because they reflected what he'd seen online. Neither boy considered how their words might land in the real world. They were used to the anonymity of social media, where quips and comments rarely had consequences. We weren't trying to be mean, Marcus said later. It was just a dumb joke. We didn't think she'd hear us, or take it so seriously. But Emma knew Jada's reaction was more than expected, so she sat down beside her and asked, what really happened? With a voice full of concern. So before Jada answered, she sat down to process what had just happened. A wave of conflicting emotions washed over her. She was angry. Angry at the boys. Angry at the culture that made their jokes seem acceptable, and angry at herself for letting it get to her. But beneath the anger was a deep sadness. She thought about how often she'd tried to use her platform to encourage understanding and empathy, only to find herself the subject of ridicule. The incident at Starbucks felt like a microcosm of her larger struggles, trying to be vulnerable in a world that often rewarded cruelty. For years, Jada had worked hard to cultivate resilience, but moments like this reminded her that even the strongest people have limits. Finally, she told Emma all that had been going through her mind as soon as the question was asked. Emma knew that she had to do something, but there was nothing she could do, so she offered Jada a warm hug, saying it would be all right. But it did not end there. The video of Jada's confrontation at Starbucks quickly gained attention online. Uploaded by an onlooker, it spread across social media platforms within hours. The footage, though only a minute long, captured the tension in vivid detail. Jada's frustration, the boys' stunned expressions, and the hushed atmosphere of the cafe. As is typical in the digital age, the internet responded with lightning speed. Hashtags like #Jada at Starbucks and #Respect Matters began trending on Twitter. Opinions flooded in from every corner of the internet, sparking a heated debate about the incident. The internet was divided into three. Let's find out what people had to say on this matter. Some users sided with Jada, applauding her for calling out the boys' disrespect. Finally, someone standing up to these kids who think it's okay to mock people, one tweet read. Supporters emphasized that teenagers, while young, should be held accountable for their words. Many argued that Jada's reaction was a reflection of the frustration many people feel when subjected to casual disrespect. Others, however, felt that Jada had overreacted. Critics accused her of being too harsh, pointing out that the boys were teenagers who likely didn't understand the gravity of their comments. They're just kids, one user wrote. Why is a grown woman berating them in public? The incident also sparked a wave of memes. Screenshots of Jada's stern expression circulated with captions like, "When you're not in the mood for nonsense before your coffee," and Jada turning Starbucks into red table talk. While some memes were lighthearted, others bordered on cruel, reducing the confrontation to yet another punchline in the ongoing saga of Jada's public life. Beyond the internet, the story reached mainstream media. Morning talk shows debated the incident, with some hosts praising Jada's courage and others questioning her approach. "This is a teachable moment for everyone involved," one commentator said. But did Jada handle it in the best way? That's up for debate. Public figures also weighed in. A few celebrities voiced support for Jada, emphasizing the importance of respect and accountability. "People forget that celebrities are human," one actor tweeted. Jada had every right to stand up for herself. On the other hand, some critics pointed out that Jada's response might perpetuate the stereotype of celebrities being overly sensitive or entitled. "It's tough to feel bad for someone who already has so much privilege," one columnist wrote. The divide in public opinion highlighted a broader societal tension, the balance between holding people accountable and extending them grace. Was Jada's reaction justified, or was it an example of a celebrity using her influence to call out ordinary individuals? The answer, it seemed, depended on whom you asked. The third set was a group of people who did not side with Jada or the teenagers. This group condemned Emma. They argued that she acted the way she did because of the personality involved. "She couldn't have reacted the way she did if it was someone else," a tweet read. This group did not just condemn Emma, they went ahead to condemn the customers for recording such an ugly scene. "They could have settled it without involving everyone," another tweet read. But things were just starting to get heated. The media outrage surrounding the incident was unavoidable. Every major outlet picked up the story, dissecting it from various angles. Headlines ranged from supportive to critical, with titles like "Jada Pinkett Smith stands up against disrespect" and "Starbucks Showdown. Did Jada overreact?" dominating the news cycle. Some went as visiting Starbucks and conducting interviews with Emma. Although this made her uncomfortable, she knew it was not just about defending her already stained reputation. To her, it was about helping Jada survive this crisis. So when she was asked, "Why did you side with Jada?" she quickly responded by saying that she did not side with Jada, but acted in the best way she could to contain the situation. She further stressed the fact that Jada have been through a lot, and they should end this cycle already, which she called madness. But instead of this, to help it lead to another segment. Keep watching to find out more. Entertainment channels dedicated entire segments to analyzing the video. Some hosts praised Jada's authenticity, calling her reaction a powerful statement against the normalization of casual disrespect. "In a world where everyone hides behind screens, it's refreshing to see someone address issues face to face," one anchor remarked. However, not all coverage was sympathetic. Tabloids took the opportunity to rehash Jada's past controversies, framing the incident as part of a larger pattern. "This isn't the first time Jada has found herself in the spotlight for a heated reaction," one article read, subtly criticizing her for being too confrontational. Jada's own response to the media attention came through her social media platforms. In an Instagram post, she addressed the incident directly, writing, "Respect is something we all deserve, regardless of who we are." The comments I heard that day weren't just jokes. They were a reflection of how we, as a society, often forget to treat one another with kindness. "This wasn't about me. It was about setting a standard for how we engage with each other." Her statement was met with mixed reactions. Supporters appreciated her taking the time to explain her perspective, while critics accused her of over-intellectualizing a simple confrontation. The fallout extended to Starbucks itself. The company issued a statement emphasizing its commitment to providing a respectful environment for all customers. "We take these matters seriously and are reviewing the situation to ensure all parties feel heard," the statement read. As the days passed, the story's intensity began to wane, but its impact lingered. The incident became a reference point in conversations about celebrity culture, respect, and the power dynamics of public confrontations. For some, it was a reminder of the humanity behind fame. For others, it was an example of how easily small moments can escalate in a hyper-connected world. The Starbucks incident became more than just a celebrity outburst. It was a lens through which society examined fame, respect, and accountability. For Jada, it was a painful reminder of the challenges of living in the public eye. For others, it was a wake-up call about the power of words, even when spoken in jest. As the world debated what happened, one lesson remained clear. Everyone, celebrity or not, deserves to be treated with dignity. In the end, the incident wasn't just about a coffee shop confrontation. It was about the larger question of how we choose to treat one another. Although many found this as a hot celebrity gist, this was not the case for Jada. Her mental health and her reputation was stained here. Let's not forget about the impact of this event on Jason and Marcus, the criticism from Jada's fans, and even the attention they will be getting after such an incident. Let's not forget about the impact of this event on Jason and Marcus, the criticism from Jada's fans, and even the attention they will be getting after such an incident. Is it something they are prepared for? Let's hear your thoughts in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.